Absolutely not.
This does not mean that if after meeting with your doctor and you both have an open dialogue about medication and determine that Effexor is something that you would like to try, that you don't go that route. Each person reacts completely differently to medications.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So please keep that in mind, that this is just personal experience of 2 out of 3 people. I have never been on Effexor, so I don't have any personal stories. But it could work perfectly well for me.
I will throw a third person out here right now. Katie is on Effexor as well. And while her dosage needs to be adjusted, the Effexor works amazing for her. Like, it does all the things that she needs to live through her life. She's working with her doctor right now to adjust her dosage up because she's been on the same dosage for a long time. But it is a great med for her. It does everything that she needs. So it absolutely can be a wonderful medication for people. It was, for Spaz and I, it was terrible. And that's because it was our personal journeys on it, and that's it.
Yeah, this is just the part where we have the legal disclaimer that this podcast is not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose any illnesses.
And we have all said individually in our videos that our experience with medication is our experience with medication. We would never give any kind of advice or suggestion or anything because we all know very well our own chemistry is our individual. We have said it in podcasts before, but our own chemistry is our own chemistry, and everybody being different.
We will talk meds.
Yeah, we'll talk it for sure.
We'll talk meds. We'll talk about our personal experience with medications, but at no point in time will you ever hear any of us make a recommendation for or against a medication. That is between you and
do not take anything that we say as
exactly. That's between you and your doctor.
But the key takeaway from all this, including we're not doctors. Don't fucking listen to us for medical advice.
We're not reputable resources.
Right. Exactly. The key thing to take away from this is I let doctors invalidate me and invalidate my concerns. And it destroyed my life for months because I couldn't do anything, and it destroyed my self-worth for months. And the only thing that saved me in that aspect was I couldn't get depressed, right? Like, the meds did not literally let me get depressed. So, but I let them invalidate me, and it did horrible things for my ADHD, right? So we have to understand that invalidation can be just a little invalidation of a doctor not paying attention to your concerns can have massive effects on your life.
I mean,
this is tough.
I let my doctors invalidate my pain for years, multiple years. All it took was one visit with a neurologist who did the exact exam that a general practitioner could have done to diagnose me. But because they were a doctor, they invalidated what I was feeling. And please feel free to cut that. Like, I'm not trying to undermine Patrick's story at all. It's like the second that you had said, I let doctors invalidate me, that triggered that response in my mind. Like, literally, I could have been being treated for my ESD.
EDS.
Or EDS. It's the alcohol talking. My EDS.
My dyslexia.
Right.
You know, almost 3 years ago at this point.
And not only you, but how many of us, how many of you, I know both of you have heard this before from your followers, but how many of your followers have said, these doctors invalidated me and my concerns about ADHD, and it took me years to find
the amount of DMs and shit I get about that is, it's insane, the amount of people, and especially
the invalidation,
especially from female AFAB, right? Girls, women.
Females, AFAB,
BIPOC,
LGBTQIA. There are whole communities that are invalidated, and their experiences are invalidated by medical professionals. And I'm not by any means saying that all medical professionals do it. But there are medical professionals out there who invalidate the experiences and the concerns of their patients because I'm a girl. I can't have I am AFAB, so I cannot have ADHD.
And your doctor is fucking lazy. That could be it too.
Let's make this really easy, right? Let's talk about TikTok people who are medical professionals that are well respected and amazing. Leslie, Alex, right? Those people. And then Dr. Fucknugget, who said we just suffer from an abundance of curiosity.
Fucking Christ, man.
The Is that going to be in the takedown live? Is that going to be one of yours?
Oh yeah, that's one of mine. I'm definitely taking, but that's probably one of the best takedown lines I've ever had in my life is when I dropped that. How does a guy without a bachelor's degree know more about your fucking disease that you should know about?
Don't waste your content here, man. Don't waste your content.
I'll go into that too. So
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But one of the things that we advocate so strongly for in these podcasts and our channels and things like that is you are the only expert of you.
You are the subject matter expert about yourself.
Yep. There is nobody who can know exactly what is wrong with you except for you. If you know something's wrong with you, don't let somebody tell you it's not really wrong. You have to be able to stand up and fight for yourself in these aspects.
Yeah. My issues with physical pain are a really good example of that. I went in saying I'm having pain in my joints, and my doctor said, no, you aren't. You're having muscle pain. Even though the pain was clearly in my joints, and I knew where my pain was, and I knew that what I was feeling happened with movement, and it felt like somebody was sticking a rusty spoon in my hip joint and trying to pry the fucking bones apart. Like, I know that was not a muscle pain, but she said, no, you just think it's joint pain. It's muscle pain. You have fibromyalgia.
Plot twist.
I mean, I think that pretty much sums that section of this up. It's, ouch. Fuck.
Here we are.
Here we are. And we're only 2/3 of the way done, folks.
That's okay. We'll continue on with the next section after a word from our sponsor.
I tried other dating sites, but it was always the same thing. I find a girl, she digs me, I dig her, and then we meet up. She's like, can you stop fidgeting? Can I get in a word edgewise? Are you even listening to me? And it finishes with the same thing every time. You're nuts.
Other dating sites just set me up for the same failures. Guys would always be like, hey, are you in there? Are you paying attention? Should I just go? And they all say the same thing. Are you nuts?
You're not nuts. You're just neurodivergent. But where do you find other neurodivergents? Plenty of squirrels. That's where. Whether you're a boy or a girl or a non-binary squirrel, you can find that special someone at Plenty of Squirrels. Plenty of Squirrels is a place for neurodivergents to meet, and a subsidiary of Squirrel Co.
In this area, we're going to discuss rejection-sensitive dysphoria, or RSD, as many of us call it, and what its effects are on people with ADHD, because it is not isolated to just ADHD. It happens across a range of neurodiversity.
But what is RSD?
RSD is the extreme, unreasonable reaction to a perceived slight. It's a perceived slight, right? It doesn't always have to be an actual slight. It could be something like, he didn't talk to me after I told him something, or he didn't text me back for 20 minutes after I sent him a text, right? So he obviously doesn't like me anymore. Or talking to somebody about something and they don't respond to you right away, and you're like, oh, they fucking hate me. These are all rejection-sensitive dysphoria things.
I've never.
Right? I suffer from rejection-sensitive dysphoria every day I walk in here with these two, because I look at these two amazing creators and I'm going, who the fuck are you, and why do you belong in here with these people? Because they are so much better than you, right? And that's a little bit of imposter syndrome, but that's also rejection-sensitive dysphoria, because I look at them and I look at their intellect and I look at their ability to create and make things, and my brain goes, you're nothing. You're nowhere on their level. What are you doing here? You know, these things are, and it's a perceived slight, right? I look at Spaz. I look at Spaz and I look at his editing skill and his way he flows in his videos and the way he puts them together, and he looks so smart and intelligent and put together, and he comes up with these great lines.
God, you fucking fool, don't I?
He comes up with these great lines, and he makes great videos.
All right, imposter syndrome. You already had your chance.
Shut it.
Yeah, right. He makes great videos, and you know, like, I get compared to him a lot because we have a lot of the same style. I consider him my mentor, right? And I look at mine and I go, my brain goes, you're never going to be on his level. And it's imposter syndrome, but it's also rejection-sensitive dysphoria, because if he doesn't react to one of my videos that I make, does he really like me anymore? Is he really my friend? Does he want to be with me anymore? Should I just quit the podcast?
Did I forget to scroll that day?
Right?
I must have.
And what happens, that's exactly what happens, is you didn't scroll that day.
Either that, or it's like me and my videos are just not on the page.
Well, I mean, yeah, you know, and it's that simple. Something happens.
They're always on me. I never FYP. But
but I perceive the slight. I perceive that Spaz didn't. fucking Christ. Good. It's good to see you laugh, brother. I'm really happy to see
Holy
you.
shit! In a podcast? Are you kidding me?
Right, I know. We've come into these things, and all of us have been in rough shape from time to time, and we always end up leaving laughing and smiling. So, So the key about these types of what I'm talking about with RSD is that these are all perceived slights and issues that I'm talking about. What I did not cover was the actual effect of invalidation and how that could cause RSD to kick in you.
Mm-hmm.
If you are invalidated by your partner because you struggle with having the ability to do the job, take out the trash, empty the dishwasher, whatever, right? If you get that invalidation of why can't you just be like everybody else and do the job that I asked you to do? Right? I know we've all heard this because you know what? And this is no offense against our partners. Our partners are allowed to struggle as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Dealing with somebody who lives with ADHD is fucking hard.
Imagine too.
Yeah, and you're never going to be perfect. Like, I live in a house of neurodivergence. We don't know what Katie is, but she's clearly neurodivergent, right? So we struggle with this as well, right? Where she doesn't see she sees me struggling, but doesn't understand it because she doesn't have the same struggle.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes that leads to invalidation, right? She invalidates my struggle by saying, why can't you just do it? I asked you to do this. Why can't you just do this?
Yeah, and that's something that I'd go through all the time. All the time. I mean, I've been with my wife for, it's going to be 20 years.
And where does your brain go? And I can tell you where your brain goes when she does that. I'm going to tell you right now. Why the fuck why is she still with me? She's just going to leave me because I'm a total failure.
Yep, that is absolutely true.
Okay. I'm good.
Yeah. Are you okay? Feeling a little
We
cold
can
over
stop
there?
calling my ass out now.
Okay.
It is my anniversary. I do not need to listen to this shit today.
Okay. Hey, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Sorry, by the time
Thank
this
you.
is released, happy 2-week belated Andy and
Absolutely.
There's that executive dysfunction.
Hi, I'd like to thank my mouth for showing up today. You're a little late.
So, it's just something that simple. Is a slight invalidation, and it's an invalidation that all of us can understand and relate to, right? Because you're frustrated. It's frustrating to live with somebody who has ADHD.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to live with me.
Right? I 100% understand why she's frustrated with me for not doing the job, but that invalidation still hits hard.
Absolutely does.
And it just drives that RSD into overdrive, and then you question everything about yourself.
Yeah. No, it's totally true. Like I said, I've been with my wife for 20 years. This past May was our 20-year anniversary. Not married, but, together.
Happy 4-month belated anniversary.
Hey, sweetie, at least you could pronounce the fucking word. You're doing better than Randy.
Say, that's for episode 5, damn it.
I'm sorry, my bad. But you're absolutely correct in that, the amount of times in a day that I will think to myself, and this will touch it back actually to the executive dysfunction problem, is time management and ability to organize myself and do the thing, which is why I've got my whiteboard up with nothing written on it, by the way, except for something that my daughter wrote. What does that fucking tell you? That it took me how long to put my whiteboard up to? Like 2 months.
It's nothing like the fact that until the 1st of this month, my calendar read January 2021 on it.
Hey, look at that one. Very nice indeed.
That's my to-do list, and that's the...
Well, you're doing better than I am, right? But actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sidestep what I had initially planned here. I'm going to start here and move into something else. My ability to do work around the house is limited by my own physical disability, which, again, I'm sure if you've listened along, is my garbage fucking knees.
I fucking understand that struggle.
Go Broken Knees Club! Yay!
All of us are in that boat.
Yeah, it's wait, where's my wheelchair podcast?
right. Okay. Let's skip. I don't want to hear about how bad my knees are anymore. So please go ahead.
Sorry, that's where this is going to end up.
God damn it.
Wah, 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 wah.
Sorry about that.
Wah.
Anyway, where were I? Yes, we were talking about how my own ability to do housework is limited by my own physical disability, right? Which, again, is the garbage knees. So there are only certain things that
We can't say that. Patrick's in the room and he's feeling very called out. We need to have empathy for
No.
our fellow
Fucking come on.
co-hosts.
Let's get this over with. Come on.
Fuck him. He has to roll forward to his mic to be able to talk anyway. So
not in a wheelchair. He's not in. I mean, he's in a chair with wheels.